It's really been interesting, the reaction to the podcast. I mean, we had some controversial figures on, I'll acknowledge that, and Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and some others. But you're right. I mean, this idea that we can't even have a conversation with the other side.
You have to. They won.
Thank you. That's it, bottom line. And by the way, or the notion we just have to continue to talk to ourselves or we're in the same damn echo chamber. These guys are crushing us. The Democratic brand is toxic right now. We had a high water mark 2 weeks ago, and that was a CNN poll at 29% favorability. It's dropped in the NBC poll down to 27%. It's one thing to make noise, but you also have to make sense. And I think with this podcast and having the opportunity to dialogue with people I disagree with, it's an opportunity to try to find common ground and not take cheap shots. I'm not looking to put a spoke in the wheel of their, or at least a crowbar in the spokes of their wheel to trip them up, to your point. And I think it's important. Democrats, we tend to be a little more judgmental than we should be. This notion of cancel culture, you've been living it. You've been on the receiving end of it for years and years and years. That's real. And Democrats need to own up to that.
They said it. There you go, right there. It said it's toxic right now. Do y'all believe Gavin Newsom? Do y'all believe Gavin Newsom? Drop it in the comments below, right? Just basically drop a thumbs down if you don't believe him, or a thumbs up if you do believe him, right? He's right. He's right. I mean, I got to be honest, whether I like the guy or not, he's right about what he's saying about the Democratic Party. He's saying that it's toxic right now. He says that they're being very judgmental, and they were the main people behind cancel culture, right? Now, do I believe him is another question, right? I think Gavin Newsom, and here's the thing, guys, I got to be honest. I think Gavin Newsom is actually doing the right thing.
Sensational.
Right? What? I think Gavin Newsom is actually doing the right thing, right? With his podcast. As far as from a strategy standpoint, I have to call it, right? I got to call a spade a spade. From a strategic standpoint, right? And I say playing chess, not checkers on this channel a lot. He's opening up a podcast where he's speaking to Republicans, right? And controversial Republicans at that. Charlie Kirk, Steve Bannon. And it may be a good strategy for him, because which other Democrats are doing this, right? What other Democrats that you know that are doing this? I don't know many of them. I don't know any of them, actually, right? And so even though I do believe he's doing this, you know, for a presidential run, because he's looking at his cards and saying, what do I really have, you know, to get myself back into a presidential spot? I mean, my city's burning down, and it's one of the highest tax places in the world, and we're still in a deficit. He's like, I got to get back public opinion. And this is how you do it. The other Democrats are doing it the wrong way. Now, again, I got to be objective here. The other Democrats like Adam Schiff, Jasmine Crockpot, and AOC are doing it the wrong way on social media by basically doing these stupid dances and what's my superpower, and then spewing a lot of hate to try to get a bunch of views. They're doing it the wrong way. However, Gavin Newsom is trying to do it a better way, and he is doing it in a more strategic way. Now, I don't think many people are going to believe him, but he's right about the Democrat Party being toxic. It's a very toxic place right now. Even to say that you are a Democrat, it's like, ugh, what's going on? Like, you really support X, Y, and Z? And when he mentioned the 29% approval rating, you can thank people like Jasmine Crockpot, AOC, and those people, and even Gavin Newsom himself. You can thank them for this low approval rating because of the things that they have been trying to represent over these last 4 to 5 years has just totally turned off the American people, right? They have jumped off the center train, and they've gotten far left, and people are not for it. And you know what else is bad about this Democrat Party? Anyone who's not for their agenda, they find a way to label them and then just basically throw them under the bus. And they want to throw them away. Republicans can disagree on things. They may not agree on it, but they don't throw their people away because they don't agree with it. And it's a form of, like, it's like a toddler, right? Like a toddler, you know, you tell them something and now they're just mad at you about everything, even though it doesn't make sense. Gavin Newsom was right. Now, the actions of Gavin Newsom are the real question, and that's where he's going to get nailed. That's where he's going to get nailed. Because even though you're saying the right things about your party, what are you really doing to change these things in the state of California? What are you doing about men and women's sports in California? What are you doing about the deficit? What are you doing about the fires? What are you actually doing in your state, which is going to end up being the problem that he's going to have, because they're going to say, yeah, you say all the right things, just like a politician. However, your state's a freaking hellhole. This is all just a big presidential grab for Gavin Newsom, because he knows he needs to get back the court of public opinion in order to have a chance. And from a strategic standpoint, again, you gotta take off your bias. He can find himself rising through the ranks because look at AOC. She's too extreme. Look at Bernie Sanders. He's old and he wants socialism. That's not going to work. You got Gretchen Whitmer, who possibly could be somewhat of a challenge in this spot because she's not participating in all this crazy rhetoric that the left is doing. But then you got Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer. Who else you got? It's not really that many pickings for this top spot for the presidential race in 2028. And all Gavin Newsom has to do is not do what Jasmine Crockett is doing and not doing what AOC is doing to give himself an opportunity. So I don't believe him. He is right. The party is in a very bad spot, but they've done it to themselves. And right now there's no leadership. There's nobody telling them what to do. And that's why you see people just going off the rails and just saying crazy stuff. And they're out here cussing because they're trying to create this aggressive image in the Democrat Party. And it's really turning off more and more voters, because why do I want my congresswoman or congressman talking like that? Like, what? I don't need to see you on TV cussing up a storm. I need to see you actually working and actually showing me that my vote meant something, not participating in political theater because you think that this is going to get you some type of popularity and clicks on TikTok. So, Gavin Newsom has a lot of work to do. Just in his own state, he's got a lot of work to do. And I think that will be his downfall. So even though I think that this is a good strategy from just a Democrat Party standpoint, is to start having more conversations with right-wing people so that you can understand things and get that aha moment like Jon Stewart had when they ran down the one of these things that Biden was doing. And he was like, oh my gosh, this is what they've been doing to us. Then you could actually understand. But they're going to look and see, what have you actually done, Gavin Newsom? Why is the homelessness such a problem? Why are you still in the deficit, right? Why haven't you done anything when it comes to the fires in the city? Why is nothing's happening? So let me know your guys' thoughts below about Gavin Newsom, his new podcast idea, and what you guys feel about this. And I love to, hear what you guys got to say. I love hearing your perspectives. And again, I'm trying to give it to you objectively, right? A lot of you people are going to say, oh, Trump supporter, Trump fan. No, I can recognize when right is right and wrong is wrong, or when something is clever, right? And he's got a clever idea on his hands. We will see how this works out. Let me get out of here, all right? Like I say after every video, this is chess, not checkers. I'm going to see y'all at work 2 times.
You are watching a master at work.
See ya.